Welcome back, my friends. Today I'm going to do my haunch of air-dried venison. It's October and it's the time of year I normally do it. You want to be doing this during the cold months. It stops flies laying eggs on it, and it's a really lovely piece of meat to do. Now the first thing I have to do is I have to weigh it, because I'm looking for a 30% weight loss on the venison. So 3.6, I need to lose approximately 1,000 grams, but I'm going to make sure, because in 3 months time I won't remember what that is. So I'm going to write the date, which is the 4th of October, and I'm going to write the starting weight, which is 3.6 kg, and I'm also going to put down the expected weight that I need it to be, or to lose rather, over that time. Now I will hang that label in my air box, my meat safe, when I put the meat in. But I'm going to have to salt this piece of meat, and it's a lovely piece of meat. I'm going to have to salt this in my salt box for 1 day per kilo, so approximately 4 days in the salt box. So here we are into the salt box. Now before I salt it, I'll just explain that I have taken a list of the date, the starting weight, and what I expect to lose over the period of time that it'll be in the box. I am looking for approximately 30%. Now I'm going to cover this with salt. Now the salt I use is DVC salt. And I'm going to put this all over, and mainly around the ball of the meat, because that's where it needs most protection. Plenty of salt, you know, don't be afraid to use it. The salt will actually help initially with the weight loss, because you expect it to lose a few grams over the 4 days that I'm going to have it in the salt box. And there we have it. I'm just going to put the lid on this, and I'm going to put it. Well, here we are now, and it's day 2 of my venison prosciutto, or air-dried haunch of venison. I'm just going to open up the box, and you can see that the salt has actually absorbed an awful lot of the liquid in the haunch, and we're drawing out some more. So I'm going to redistribute the salt again, mainly around the ball of the haunch. You know, I may even add in some more salt to this. Yeah, I think I will. Get some fresh salt in there. Especially down that end. So I'll weigh this again after day 4, and hopefully we'll have lost a few grams of weight. And that will be the start of the process. So that's more or less it. Now I'll just put it back in the fridge for another 24 hours, and we can leave it there. So day 3 of our air-dried haunch of venison. Now I'm just going to redistribute the salt once more, and our salt has started turning to a brine. And the meat is starting to get a nice dark colour on it. Again, I want to concentrate around the exposed areas of the meat. So this is day 3, so I'll do it again tomorrow, and then I'll remove it and move to the next stage. I'm happy enough. I think it's going in the right direction. So that's it. I'll put that back now, and I'll do the same again tomorrow. So here we are, air dried haunch of venison. We've had this in the salt now for 4 days, so it's time to remove the salt. As you can see, there's quite a lot of liquid has come out of that meat, and I'm hoping that the meat will have lost some weight. I'm sure it must have, losing that much liquid. So I'm going to take this off. All the salt is off there now. And I'm just going to rinse this out in my water tank. And get a lot of the salt off it. And then what I'll do is I'll get rid of this for the moment, get it out of the way. And I'll just dry this off. Definitely changed colour even, it's got a lot darker. So now I'll take the heavy water off this, and then I'll hang it in my dear fridge for about 4 or 5 days, just to let the salt equalise. I might even weigh this and see has it lost anything. It started out at 3.6 kgs, so just put my scales on there now. Wow, that's lost a lot more than I expected now, to be quite truthful. 2.9, that's brilliant. That's great. So here we are, folks, back to our air-dried haunch of venison. I've had it in the fridge here for a week longer than I actually intended to because of other commitments. And as you can see, it has developed a mold on it, which is what we're looking for. It looks unappetizing, but it's the very same as if you were doing prosciutto ham. Now, it needs an airflow, and I need to put it in a meat safe. Now, this is just a box that I put together myself a couple of years ago. Very simple to make. Some leftover timber and some fine mesh. So, very simple. Bought the aluminium mesh, leftover timbers. It does need an airflow. Now, you could hang this in a garage without having a fan on it, but I don't have much of an airflow here, so I put a small fan in. This is just a fan that I took out of an old computer, put a power supply on it, and it works perfectly. So I'm just going to hang this. I'm going to hang it here in my garage out of the ceiling here, and I'll plug it in then, and we'll be away. So I'm just going to hang it now. And there we have it. Now I'll just plug in my power supply. And I'll just keep my eye on that then over the next few weeks. It has lost quite a large amount of weight, so I'm expecting that maybe in a month. I was thinking it would take longer, but I suspect now it might only take a total of 2 months, and at that stage then I'll just take it out and carve it. Here we are, air dried haunch of venison. It's been in here now for 6 weeks. I may have left it a little bit too long because I was rather busy at the time, but I'm going to weigh it, and hopefully it hasn't lost too much. It's at 2.1 or 2 kilos there. Probably lost a little bit more than I was hoping for, but sure, look, we'll give it a try. That is really, really nice. Very pleased.